Hello and welcome to P2P Live. It's 12:30 here in the UK. I am Hannah Scanlon, manager here at People to People. And on today's show, we, of course, are going to go through the stat of the week. This week, we're going to cover the UK gender pay gap, which is going to be an interesting topic. We're going to go through the hot jobs across Australia, New Zealand, and, of course, the UK. And are you considering making the move to Australia and kickstarting your working holiday in 2024? Well, this week, we will take a look back at a discussion between Group Managing Director Mark Smith and Temporary Specialist Recruitment Consultant Shabham to discuss how to register for our upcoming Working Holiday webinar, all about finding a job in Australia and how working holiday makers can overcome those common challenges when getting ready to settle down to find their dream job. And of course, we're going to take a look at our social media poll results. So let's head on straight over to our stat of the week. So our stat of the week, this one is pretty short and sweet, but I'm rarely lost for words. And I think this week I am lost for work. So the UK's gender pay gap rises to 14.5%. And to put that into context, it could take up to 43 years to close that UK's gender pay gap, which is staggering. Or in 2024, I didn't expect to see something like that. So have a think. Does this affect you directly? Are you able to make changes that will lower this gap? Please do drop us a comment with your thoughts. But for this one this week, yeah, pretty stumped. So let's head on over to our hot jobs of the week. So the first job that we have is being managed by 𝐤𝐨𝐬𝐲𝐬𝐿 here in London, and it is a private client solicitor. This role is based up in Birmingham, paying between 35 and 45,000. You'll be dealing with all types of private client matters, including wills and estates, trust, tax planning, and inheritance estates. So if you're interested in this, you need at least 1 year of PQE experience, and you can talk directly to 𝐤𝐨𝐬𝐲𝐬𝐿 to find out more. The next role that we have is managed by our Managing Director, Liz Jones, and it is a consultant solicitor. It's fully remote, which is a really, really interesting role. It's 50 to 70,000. You're going to be conducting legal research and analysis, handling a diverse range of cases within your practice area, and building and maintaining client relationships. So if you've got 5 years of experience as a qualified solicitor, and you've got demonstrated expertise in your practice area, this could be a really interesting role for you. So do get in touch with Liz if you're interested. Now we're going to head over to across the pond, or across the other side of the So we have a logistics coordinator role in Wellington. This has got a very competitive salary on offer. You will be managing various administrative tasks, such as creating schedules, processing timesheets and expenses. But you do need to have experience working with schedules, and a background in events for this role.
If you're looking for a diverse range role, then this could be for you. we are currently recruiting for a specialist national firm. They're looking for an experienced legal assistant to join their CBD office full-time. Some of the duties are preparing correspondence, court documents, presentations and maintaining paper and electronic files. Also, it will be required to be also working across monthly billing. To be considered for this role, it's essential that you have previous experience working as a legal assistant, and also it's essential that you have proven experience processing monthly billing. But what's in it for you? It's an opportunity to work for a nationally renowned specialist firm, flexibility to work from home, also a highly competitive remuneration package. If that is something that sounds like of interest, please get in touch.
Now, we talk about a lot about working holidays and the opportunity that they present on P2P Live on Fridays, but we're going to go a little bit deeper and into what it actually all means with a webinar next week. So what we thought we'd do is have a quick chat to Shabham from our Sydney team about that webinar, and when Shabham starts speaking, you'll realise that she's probably experienced a working holiday. Shabham, welcome to P2P Live. Tell us more about this webinar.
So People2People is excited to announce our first installation of its 2024 webinars, starting with our Working Holiday series, Finding a Job in Australia. If you're considering making the move to Australia on a working holiday, but are not sure what to expect or where to start, then this interactive webinar will be for you. Hosted by our People2People's New South Wales Director and Sydney Branch Manager, Bianca Luck, and our recruitment experts, Aidan, Bose, Sky O'Malley, and myself. This 1 hour webinar will look at where the key opportunities lie for job seekers, most common challenges working holidaymakers can face when getting ready to settle down in Australia, how to overcome them and find your next dream job. We will also take an in-depth look at the Australian market, getting situated in Australia, job search strategies, CV writing tips, interview preparation and cultural adaptation before conducting an interactive Q&A session, so viewers can ask any follow-up questions they might have. It is next week, Wednesday, 20th of March at 12:30 p.m. AEST. To register, scan the QR code on the screen, click the link in the comments, or visit our People2People website.
Great, fantastic. So I can see that Jacob's just popped the QR code onto the screen there. We'll pop a link, I think, also in the comments there, so people can actually can register for the webinar. But clearly, you're Irish and you're here on or have been or experienced working in Australia. What do you think the biggest takeaway was for you coming over?
Takeaway coming to Australia?
What do you think? Biggest surprise, maybe that's the best language.
Oh, gosh. Well, look, we always knew the weather was going to be good, but I came over in June and nobody prepped me for how cold it was going to be. Everyone's like, you think of Australia, you think of sun the whole time. That is not the case. So if you do definitely move over in like the colder months, pack heavily. Yeah. That is definitely one thing. I was tricked.
Do you think if you had a webinar like this, you would have jumped onto it?
Absolutely. We're gonna give some useful advice next week. So definitely, if you are making that move, do jump on. I've already had some LinkedIn connections reach out and saying that they're looking to move over to Australia. So did I have any tips? So I did tell them to log on to the event next week.
Perfect. And of course, clearly you know about the AFL.
Well, now not really.
Do you know what I'm even talking about?
Okay, I didn't know. So I actually went to an AFL game when I first arrived. It was my first week. Went to a Swans game, but I didn't know what the sport was. I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I thought, is it rugby or something like that?
What are you asking me that question? Anyway. Clearly, if you're asking me that question, you have no idea.
I still don't fully know.
No, it's not. It's actually more closely aligned to Gaelic football, I think, in Ireland.
Yeah. So, You can hold the ball in your hands. That's it.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. So if you want to learn more about working holidays, then to chat more to Shab about what it means, then join the webinar next week. Jump on that QR code and make sure that you join the webinar. Thanks very much for joining us, Shab. Hopefully we'll get you back on P2P Live again soon.
So last week we raised our social media poll as To what extent do you feel your workplace is committed to diversity and inclusion? And the results are really interesting. So very committed, we had 26.3%, somewhat committed, 28.9%, but not committed at all is 44.7%, which again, I'm really surprised about. I think that's, in this day and age, it needs to be a lot lower than that. We need to see companies getting committed, getting behind workplace diversity and inclusion. So next week, we're going to ask you, are you considering moving to the UK on a working holiday visa in the near future? Yes, I am, or no, I'm not. Come and join England's sunny, lovely weather. Get away from the hot sun in Australia. And hopefully you can take away from today the webinar as well and log on and have some tips and advice. So thanks for joining. I'm Hannah Scanlon and we are live same time next week. Thanks for joining.